just started right now. You got the crud.
My first technical foul yesterday. We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, really?
Dude, one of the funniest things that ever happened in refereeing. You're not supposed to talk to the fans, but they talked to one yesterday. He said something that has made me laugh so loud.
Jeez.
I love doing inner city games.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking, dude? Why is it that women like to tease you, right?
Yeah.
So, if you go out on a date with somebody, right? Why did they do this to you, man? Like, my friend was talking to me, right? And he was telling me something. He went out on a date with somebody, right? It wasn't me. My friend did. And he says, girl says, you did something on the date. I want you to keep doing that. It was something that came natural to you, right? But she won't tell him what it was. She goes, it was something so small. And it was, she was
A good thing or a bad thing?
A good thing.
Okay.
She won't tell him what it is.
So you know what? We'll get into some dating aspects of things.
Funny, dude.
Me finally getting with Chica, you know, if you want to have like some things that are like that, it's funny, you know, because she told me stuff like that too.
Like, it's driving him nuts because he's like, bro, what the hell I did?
Yeah.
It's like, why are they like that, dude? Like, why don't they just tell you did this thing and I thought it was cool or something, you know? The making you think part.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh, I just got a lunch invite to Tinka Taco.
Hey, Tinka Taco's good stuff, man. Sam Salinas says, Joe, turn your mic up. We want to hear the juicy story.
You know what? We might
juicy story, man.
We just might have a, what do they call it, a chisme day. Nacio's Mauna.
What's up, people? Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate y'all. I don't know if Jeff's joining us or not. I texted him, but I didn't get no response from him.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your host as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. We go for about an hour 15, hour 30, Monday through Friday. This is the dark period when it comes to sports talk radio in San Antonio. Ticket 760, off the air when it comes to local radio. San Antonio Sports Star, off the air when it comes to local sports talk radio. So you come to us, right? You come to us for that sports, pop culture, nostalgia. You come to us for those good takes that take about 6 to 9 months to manifest themselves and be a good thing, Joe.
Yeah.
Like when we said the Cowboys were going to go 7-10, and they said, "Oh, you guys are idiots." And guess what? What do? 7-10. When we say that Jeremy Sochan is probably not a good thing as a starter for the Spurs, everyone calls us idiots. But then guess what? People come to our side and they start to understand that we were right all along, but they'll never give us the credit.
Didn't Pledger call you an idiot?
Oh, he called me a big time idiot. He called me an idiot and a jackass and all of that stuff.
I love Pledge.
Team
dude.
Tank, stupid. That's not the Spurs way. We don't do stuff like that. But then all of a sudden everyone's like, well, maybe it was a good thing that we tanked.
No, when he gets mad at you, he goes, "You
Moron."
You
self-absorbed narcissistic moron.
We need to get Pledge back on. I love me some Pledger, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, Pledge is way overdue to come back on the show, dude.
It's interesting because, you know, I love that guy. We need to get the Pledger back on. But, you know, we talk a lot about the Spurs, and we're going to get into the Spurs right now because I have a poll on Twitter at MJ Acquired Taste asking the question, Sochan Castle, pick one as a starter for the rest of the year. Who you want? If I'd asked this question back in October, it would have been 86-14 Sochan. As it stands right now, 72 votes in, 86-14% Stephon Castle.
Yeah.
Why is that so, Joe?
I mean, numbers don't lie, you know, at the end of the day. And you look to see how the Spurs play, right? When you have Stephon Castle in the mix, right? And he's starting. And then you look to see how the lineup looks when you have one Jeremy Sochan in the mix. The eye test, I think, is really starting to come to fruition here for Spurs fans. They're like, you know what, Mike, you son of a bitch. You were right.
I'm going to add James Pledger on this and basically just ask the question, what did I just do? What did I just do? And you know what's so funny is that the whole thing about Mike, you don't know ball.
No.
Dude, Joe, I know enough ball to have seen this coming from a mile away. Now, does that mean I want Jeremy Sochan off this team? No.
Yes.
I want him to do his role at Baylor. Baylor, where was he at Baylor? He was a bench player.
Man.
He was a 6-man. Do that with us. What was Keldon Johnson at Kentucky? He was a 6-man. Devin Booker was a starter. Keldon was his backup.
Yeah.
Okay? Thrive in that role. Know your role. Stephon Castle averaging 14 points per game as a starter, 7 points a game as a bench player. He's a different player when he starts. The team is more efficient, and I like watching him play. And then I saw the report today, Paul Garcia, one of the Spurs journalists out there, coming out and saying that Sochan's going to miss yet another game. Now I'm getting worried, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. As much as I joke around, Spurs are 11-9 with Stephon Castle out there. Spurs have a losing record when Sochan plays, all that stuff. We're now reaching the point in the season, Joe, where Sochan has missed as many games as he's played. Is there an issue going on here? Because we talk about how Devin Vassell has been brittle all these years. Are we now thinking that about Jeremy Sochan? And Sochan has one more year left on his deal before we have to open up the vault and pay him to stay.
Why are they going to pay him to stay? All you're going to do is go to the club and drink. That's why his back hurt.
And crash his car.
Crash his car.
I
wonder why he crashed his car, Mike.
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't see him as a day drinker, right?
Hey, that's not what I heard.
You can be part of the show, by the way, by taking part in our YouTube stream. Our chat line is powered by MCS General Contracting. I already see Jason Garcia there, Tony Ornalis, Sam Salinas, JHNSB, all you guys, the regulars are in the house. Do me a favor, since we have so many regulars in the house, how many of you guys are hitting the like button?
Yeah,
just do it now. Hit the like button and tell people that we're doing what we're doing here, talking about the sports and the pop culture and all that stuff. Joe, I refereed a high school basketball game last night for the first time in about a month. I ran the Rocket Roll half marathon about early part of December, and since then, I haven't felt right. I refereed a couple of games after the half marathon, and then my back started acting up, and it was difficult for me to run.
You pulled the Sochan?
Yes, it was a bad back, right? But at least I'm chubby, so therefore it's to be expected. Refereed a game yesterday, Joe. I called my first technical foul of the year. And it was so dramatic, Joe, that I did the whole, instead of just going like this for the technical foul, I did a dramatic. Okay. Kid fouled another player down low. Okay. It was a pretty obvious foul. It was
hard foul. Okay.
It was an obvious foul. If you had 100 officials there calling it,
Yeah.
all 100 would have called that as a foul. He looks at me and says, "That's some BS," but he said the whole word.
Yeah.
Now, I had given his coach a warning for cussing in the on the bench. And it was like one of those things where it's like, of course his player was going to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because if the coach is cussing, the players are going to cuss. But it was kind of funny that happened. But the funniest part of yesterday's game, Joe, you're not supposed to talk to the fans, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the third quarter, I had to track down a fan because he made me laugh. As an official, it doesn't matter if it's a 7th grade girls game, 8th grade boys game, JV, or varsity, 6A, whatever. The crowd gets into it and starts chattering and starts chatting up the officials, right?
Yeah.
I ignore 99% of it, right? Unless they start cussing at me or whatever, right? But there was one thing that this guy said that made me laugh, because there was this one play. It was Edison against Brackenridge.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the players, I want to say from Brackenridge, and it wasn't a varsity game. It was a freshman game, right? The A team. This guy caught a pass, Joe, and 2/3 of his feet were out of bounds. And I'm on the sideline looking at this play, but I'm not calling him out of bounds because he's on his tippy toes.
Yeah.
right? So his tippy toes are in bounds, but the rest of his feet, both feet are outside. And I'm looking at that thinking to myself, he's pulling a Sean Elliott. Remember the Memorial Day Miracle?
Yeah.
Okay. Sean Elliott, most of his foot was out of bounds, but he never landed out of bounds. He stayed on his tippy toes. So this guy was doing that. This kid was doing that. And I'm thinking to myself, man, he's pulling a Sean Elliott. People are screaming in the crowd, he's out of bounds, right? And this one parent who's in the front row says, Mira Sean Elliott.
Sean Elliott. Oh my God, dude.
Dude, I was like, at the end of the quarter, I said, who here said Mira Sean Elliott? And this one guy starts laughing. He raised his head. And I was like, that was great. I was like, that's exactly what happened. The guy had most of his foot out of bounds, but he was on his tippy toes. Mira Sean Elliott.
God. We got an incoming super chat here.
$1.99 from Midtown, Texas for the windmill hand gesture on the technical. Okay, so there are different ways of calling a technical, right? The windmill is probably the second most disrespectful. That is the right.
Yeah.
The most disrespectful one is the lowercase t. Okay, that's when you go like this, or you do it with two fingers or whatever. The lowercase t, that is basketball referee talk for telling someone to go F themselves.
You can't do it with the middle finger, you know, like.
Yeah, but I did it with a roundhouse, man. But it was funny for that parent to scream, Mira Sean Elliott. And it wasn't just Sean Elliott, it was the Mira in front. Yeah. Mira Sean Elliott. and the guy was probably our age, Joe.
Yeah.
Maybe early 40s or so. And it's funny how I'm thinking that while I'm refereeing. I'm thinking to myself, man, he's pulling a Sean Elliott. Like he looks out of bounds.
Yeah.
But he's not out of bounds because he's on his tippy toes. So I had to tell the other official that I wanted to go say hi to that guy because whoever said that made me laugh. That was a good one.
Was it dad jokes?
It was a dad joke.
Dad jokes.
It was a dad joke. And it's funny how you have like the same point of reference when it comes to things. But
dads find other dad jokes funny, dude.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. So during the 2-minute warm up here before we started the show, you were talking about dating or something like that.
Yeah.
And how one of your friends went on a date.
Went on a date, and this girl tells him after the date that she's like, you know, you did something on the date that I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what did I do? I'm not going to tell you. now this brother is over here thinking like, why do they do that, dude? He goes, they tell you this, and then you're just there left thinking, like, why can't they just tell you?
Yeah, it's a guessing game.
It's a guessing game, dude.
It's a guessing game, and it's funny because then they don't want to. I think that they want you to be genuine when you talk to them, right? When you date, right?
I ain't been on one, so I'll take you all's words for it.
Well, and it's funny because you said that you're going through a separation earlier this week. The dating game has changed, and I was married for 13 years, started dating again because of separation and divorce. And I waited a while during the separation. I didn't start dating until seriously start dating until like 6 months after the separation. Met Chica. Met my girlfriend, and it took a while for us to kind of get going because I pretty much wasn't ready for it. I hadn't grieved my relationship yet. She had gone through a bad breakup herself and hadn't finished the process of that as well. And it just took a while for us to kind of get going, right?
Yeah.
But they say things like that, Joe, like there was something you did that I really liked, but I don't want to tell you because I want it to be genuine. I don't want you to do things because you're just trying to make me happy. I want you to do things because it's just who you are. Now, one thing that I do like about my girlfriend, though, she takes certain phrases that my friends use and assumes them.
Okay.
So one of my favorite ones that my friends have said over the years, and we'll see on the thread, Alex Quintero, Alex Noriega, Sean Quintero. My friends for many, many years. Remember we talked about throbbing? Yeah. When a player's on fire, there was a player on from Edison yesterday who was throbbing. He made 4 3-pointers in a row. He was feeling it, right? I was I thought to myself, dude, throbbing, right? The phrase "pat that shit down." Okay. It's in reference to like a hard on, right? But it doesn't mean it's a literal one.
Cochino
It
talk,
doesn't
dude.
mean a literal one.
Yeah.
It just means that you're just really excited about something. You pat that shit down. So I told that to my girlfriend a while back, and she's starting to use that as part of her everyday talk, you know? And if ever I get out of line, like for example, Joe, she doesn't like it when I'm on social media when I'm around her, right?
Yeah.
If you've noticed, I'm not on Twitter as much, I'm not on Facebook as much, not on Instagram as much, because
Put down the phone.
put down the phone, right? But every once in a while, like we have Midtown Texas in here talking about that thing that he did, the AI that he did of me with Yolanda Saldivar, right? And when I saw it, man, my face melted. I smiled,
Jeez.
I laughed, I was embarrassed, I was a little bit of everything, right? I enjoyed it, right? But when she saw that I was on social media and that something that was in my head, like it messed with me for a few seconds. It was a punch to the face. I liked it. She told me what? Pat that shit down. Pat that shit down. So if I get too excited about anything, too hot, too cold, if I'm too whatever, it's pat that crap down. So that's going to be a new phraseology like throbbing, nugget, all that stuff. It's just a terminology that my friends and I have used over the years that we add on to it. And you can meet not only some of my friends, but also me, Joe. If you want to hang out with us, we're going to have a party on the 25th of January, which is this upcoming Saturday. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, the 25th. We found a place, Joe, and I have photos.
There it is, right there.
The Hidden Tavern. Now, I want to thank, I think it was Matt Gomez, if I'm not mistaken, one of our listeners who recommended this place. And
No, it wasn't Matt. It was somebody else.
Yeah, let me see here. It
Mexican
was
Junior.
Mexican Junior, that's what it is. So Mexican Junior said, go hang out at this place. I went over there to go scout it, right? Because we were talking about Little Woodrow's in the medical center.
Yeah.
But Little Woodrow's has karaoke rooms. I went over there, and they said that they were already booked for that night. Both of them were booked. So I went to Little Woodrow's, and it was booked. I checked out Who's Who, which is a great place. Too damn loud. And if we get a crowd of 40, 50 people, too small. When we did the NBA draft lottery, NBA draft over at Pete's place in Helotes, we had about 40, 50 people show up.
Yeah, we had that place packed, dude.
Yeah, we had the outdoor venue packed. So I was like, we need to find a place that's big. So it was mentioned to me. Mexican Junior said, go to Hidden Tavern. And I went over there. And if you could show my my screen.
I'll show you screen.
This is the stage. And that's the bar. But look at all the seating, Joe. Look at all the seating. It's conducive to a big crowd. They have pool tables. They've got darts there. And they do karaoke 6 days a week over there. So it's what they do, right?
Yeah.
Hidden Tavern is at 11407 West Avenue. So if you kind of know where Thirsty Horse is, it's kind of in that vicinity. Kind of Castle Hills, Lock Hill, Selma area. So we're going to be out there. And if you want to be part of it, the party's going to start at 7:00. The karaoke begins at 8:30, and they do karaoke there till 1:30. Obviously, the bar closes at 2:00. We'd love to have you guys out there. We're celebrating 2,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, you can hear Mike get on the karaoke. What you going to sing us?
My girlfriend, who is going to be out there, so you can meet Francesca.
No, I say Francesca.
She likes that, by the way. She loves you, by the way. She's met you a couple of times and she's enjoyed being around you.
Yeah.
She has this whole thing where, I hate to say it, if the singer ain't black, she doesn't want to listen to it.
Really?
Yeah, she loves R&B music. She loves hip hop. She likes country music, right? So she likes the country artists. Obviously most of them are white.
Yeah.
But she loves R&B music. We're talking about 90s R&B, early 2000s, 80s, and things like that.
Yeah.
When I'm at her house, or we're in the car, we're listening to, R&B music more often than not. We were listening to Marvin Gaye the other day, listening to The Temptations. We went old school the other day. But that being said, it's got to be an R&B song that I sing.
I love these comments, by the way.
Mario Cavazza saying, it's far, can't make it. My limit is My limit north is Ingram Park Mall. Man.
Called now Jeff.
Oh, that's what that says. Now, speaking of Jeff typically does this show on Wednesdays.
Yeah, well, he is. He's going to be coming out here shortly.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to big time us.
No.
So we're talking about the Spurs. We're going to be talking about the NFL playoffs as well. The belief that Sam Darnold cost himself a lot of money. Do you buy that, Joe?
Nah, I don't buy that, dude.
Do you think that's going to be a team that steps up and offers him $40 million a year? What is he worth, man? Because we see some really decent quarterbacks going for about $35 to $40 million. Like, let's say Derek Carr. Derek Carr is in that 35 to 38 range, right?
Yeah.
You have the Dak Prescott's making 60. You've got the Burrows of the world and the Rodgers of the world and some of the more top quarterbacks out there making in the 50s. Sam Darnold led this team to a 14-3 record, but they got booted in the first round.
Yeah.
What is he worth out there in the free agent market?
That's a good question, dude. What would his worth be out there? I mean, he's a level above, let's say, Cooper Rush, right? Is he that starter that you're going to go ahead and build your team around and say he's going to be the man to get it done, take your team to a Super Bowl? Is he going to take you deep into the playoffs?
I mean, he got them to 14-3, Joe.
I mean, he's all right. Is he a better version of Brock Purdy? Who's a better quarterback? Brock Purdy isn't flashy, but he gets the job done.
But Brock Purdy also has the weapons, man. He's got Deebo Samuel on the outside, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy going behind him.
How would he look, though, on another team without those weapons? Would he just be
Purdy?
Purdy, would he just be all right?
He would just be all right. I mean,
Sam Darnold, that's him. He's all right.
Sam Darnold had Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you take him away,
Aaron Jones,
put him on another team without those weapons, he's all right.
You're only as good as your weapons. And I think that's the whole thing about Dak Prescott, right? Dak Prescott struggled this year because he didn't have weapons around him. I mean, that's plain and simple. CeeDee Lamb can't be doing it all by himself. Who was the Cowboys' number 2 receiver this year? For parts of the season, it was Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah, it was.
Who was a bust as a 3rd-round draft pick. Hey, props to the Arizona Cardinals, by the way. Speaking of the Vikings, they lost to the Rams in the playoff game a couple of days ago. Did you see the love that Arizona's getting for this, Joe? Because of the wildfires and Palisades and everywhere else, they moved the home game to Arizona. They sold it out in less than an hour, 50-some-odd thousand seats.
Yeah.
Did you see? Look what the grounds crew did, Joe. They made it look exactly like a home game.
They did
for the Rams. And on top of that, you know that the stadium is sponsored by other people, right? And other companies, right? Every team has its own sponsors. They covered up their own signs, Joe, and put SoFi on them because SoFi sponsors the Rams. They had all the padding and all that to mimic what they had on the side. The players were saying, Joe, after the game, that they had that it felt like they were at SoFi.
Yeah.
Look at this. It looks like you see the Cardinals up there, right? It looks like SoFi. It's an indoor stadium also. They had the colors everywhere. They had the logos everywhere. The same sponsors. You know, and not only that, Joe, Arizona did this to a division rival. Who does that?
How about that, man? How about that?
Tony Ornalis
reaches
out.
Jeff.
Yeah, Tony Ornalis reaches out to our YouTube stream and says, "Hidden Tavern looks shady, bro." Damn straight it does. It's on a decent side of town, man. And the thing about the Hidden Tavern is that it literally, truly is hidden because when you get there, Joe, it looks like a small bar because there's there's different stores inside that little shopping center. You walk into the Hidden Tavern, and that place is massive.
It's hidden.
It's hidden. That's the thing.
Yeah, we do have Jeff joining us now. He's on the line. But did you see this? This had me laughing, dude. JHNSB bringing the fire chat. He says when he goes to karaoke party, he's gonna bring the cherries, Mike. You're gonna do it like your boy,
like Usher. So if you don't know about this, we have Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 joining us right now. Before we go into the whole cherry story, we got to give him his intro.
Oh yeah, here's Jeff. We're gonna get it.
Jeff
We gotta give him
Garcia.
his intro. We're gonna bring him on proper.
We could do it the proper,
Proper.
way.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar. Bling, 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 bling. Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs at Ken's 5. So the story about bringing the cherries out there. I went to a concert with my girlfriend in Houston to go see Usher perform. Usher went into the crowd with bowls, not just a little bit, bowls of cherries, and dangled them in front of women so that they could, quote unquote, just lick them and then bite them off. It looked very, very dirty, very, very cochino. And that's what he did. And he stopped the concert for about, I don't know, 20 minutes to do this. Then he had a stripping contest and a twerking contest and all that stuff. I did not realize that Usher concerts were cochino.
Cochino, man.
I ain't gonna go to that. I'm like, I don't want to see that.
I know.
Exactly.
You know, when he's talking about letting it burn, it's more about the chlamydia, I guess. You know, it's
That's-
more about the
yeah,
crabs.
there you go.
Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn.
You came in to the show, Jeff, and right away it goes into the cochino talk.
Well, I was listening to you guys before I came on. And I was like, what the hell are they talking about?
JHNSB reaches out to us on our YouTube stream and says, Mike was screaming, pick me, pick me.
Oh, man, Jimenez.
Jeff, the best part was there was an attractive lady that Usher was trying to go to.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he then looks behind her and obviously with a guy.
yeah.
And he stops because, you know, you have all these like groupie types that are in the front, right?
Mhm.
But he sees that this guy is with her, and he goes, "Is it okay?" Like he literally goes,
Is it okay?
"Is it okay
Hell
for me to
no.
do this?" And he gave that look of like, I guess. And then he dangles the cherries in front of her. Like, why did that guy allow it?
I wouldn't have said. I would have said no.
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine the fight that they would have
Nah,
had
dude,
if he had said no?
I would have said, "Oh no, my brother, you got to get your own. Get out of here."
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much, man. It's like, isn't it like that movie with Demi Moore and Robert Redford?
Oh, Indecent Proposal.
Indecent Proposal. Yeah, that's what it is.
My girl and I had a conversation about that. It's the whole story, man. About what would you do if you were offered $1 million to give up your girl for the night? And you know, I told her the other day. I said, you know, we were talking about it. I said this movie came out in the mid-90s. Index for inflation, it's $2 million now.
Oh,
Right? It's like 2.5, right? So you know, would you do it? And she looked at me and she goes, if your answer is no, you're an idiot.
Oh,
It's $2.5 million. Put out, Jimenez. Or she goes, or I'll take one for the team. So
I bet she would.
yeah, so,
But you would too, Jimenez.
I know we're being very, very romantic about it all. Very, very romantic about it all.
Hey, I know we're gonna get into some Spurs discussion, but this is kind of Spurs discussion. I want to lead off on this.
sure.
Have you seen, Joe? I know you've seen it. I don't know if Jimenez saw it. Have you seen about that auction that's going on right now? That little kid's Wemby jersey.
Oh yeah, man.
We got to talk about that, man. I mean, that's pretty. First, the thing, how did they find out that it was the dad that did it? Like, how did he know that? Did the dad come out and say, "Yep, I did it"?
It's sketch,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Well, basically, what happened was, I remember back in Brooklyn when the Spurs faced the Nets, there was a little kid that wanted to do a jersey swap with Wemby. It was like a little kid-size jersey of Wemby, and then obviously
Pull up his
Wemby with
Twitter,
his.
X.
Yeah, just show it on the X. Yeah, thanks. And then, so they did a jersey swap, and it's all fun and games, and it's happy. And well, you fast forward to today, come to find out that same Wemby jersey, game-worn Wemby jersey, is now up for auction. So the question is that bad sports parenting?
Okay, so I was talking to Joe about this before the show started.
Okay.
And this is, I'm glad that you brought it up because this is actually a topic I wanted to get into. This is terrible parenting. It's terrible parenting. I'll give you a couple reasons why. First and foremost, if this is for a kid's college, okay, that's fine. Do you know what also appreciates in value beyond just stocks and bonds?
Yeah, no, jersey.
Jerseys. If Wemby becomes an all-time great, right? He's going to be an all-star for the first time this year. And let's say that this little kid, who I don't know how old he is, 6, 7, 8 years old?
Yeah.
Let's say 10 years from now, Wemby's a 10-time all-star, 3-time MVP. Let's say that he's a 2, 3, 4-time champion.
Mhm.
How much is that jersey worth?
Oh, probably triple what it is now.
Right. On top of that, that jersey was not given to the dad. It was given to the kid.
Yeah.
It should be the kid's decision as to what to do with this money, what to do with this jersey
But that's
when
what I'm
he's,
trying to find out.
when
Like,
he's old
how
enough.
how did we find out the dad did that? Are we just assuming?
We're this is more than assuming, Jeff. A
Okay.
kid that age doesn't have an eBay account, right? They can't make an account because they're underage.
Yeah.
Who's going to have to go ahead and set up the account? Would have to be one
I
of the
see.
parents.
Yeah.
More than likely what happened is once you dig a little deeper in there, you're going to find out it was the dad that set up the eBay account to go ahead and sell the kid's jersey. Kid doesn't know what the value is that, of the jersey that's given to him. He's excited that
Yeah.
a jersey is given to him. But the right thing to do as a parent is to go ahead and frame that, put it up on your kid's wall, and they have a great story to tell for the rest of their life.
Well-
At some point, if the kid decides that they want to sell it, that's up to them as they get older, right?
Right.
Well, here's the thing too. You see, I have the opposite end of the spectrum. So remember another kid incident with the jersey when that little kid got on the court, like snuck through security
Oh, yeah.
and got on the court with Wimby. Well, that kid came on Locked On Spurs, and we spoke about his whole experience. And I asked him to close it out. I said, "Hey, what do you do with that jersey? You gonna sell it?" He says, "No. He already had it framed. His mom was there. The mom said she's not gonna let her son sell it or anything happen to it." They go, maybe they'll consider it after his career is over. But so you just see two ends of the spectrum. You got one kid with the parents saying, "Nope, lock and key until he's retired." Wimby. You got the other side, this kid, and supposedly the dad putting up for auction. So, yeah, I mean, it just runs the spectrum here. But I mean, what about this, Jimenez? What if the family was just it needed some money, medical
got
bills,
floor
something like
seats.
that?
They wouldn't be on floor seats.
Come on, man.
All right,
They wouldn't be floor seats. Where was this again? What city was
it was
this?
in New York City.
Oh,
My
yeah.
old stomping ground.
Okay, how much are floor seats in MSG?
No, well, this was in Barclays, and Barclays is a lot more affordable than MSG.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I know,
Brooklyn.
and considerably. It's comparable to what you get in San Antonio.
All right.
Now, 10,000 starting bid.
Yeah.
A little low. I'm actually surprised at how low value Wemby memorabilia has been these days.
Because it's flooded with it right now. It's just too much already.
Is it flooded or is it a small market thing?
It's flooded. It's from cards to jerseys to even swingman jerseys, which are not the authentic ones. I mean, anything Wemby, and if he touched, they put it up for auction.
Well, game-worn jerseys. He has played about 100 games in his career, and we see him give away a lot of them to other players.
Yeah.
So there might
fans.
only be 50 of these floating around right now.
Yeah.
If it was 10,000, I think it's a deal. 15, 20,000, probably 30,000 is probably going to be too much.
Mhm.
But this reminds me of the episode of Big Bang Theory when, let's say I put in a bid of $10,000 in there, hoping that someone would outbid me. I just wanted to be part of the action, kind of like when Leonard bought the time machine.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, let's talk about the Spurs themselves. Spurs back in action tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies. Back-to-back
Tough
games
out,
against
tough
Memphis.
Yeah.
I'll be on Locked On Spurs today. I'm today's guest.
Dropping in about 45 minutes.
And we're talking about the Lakers game that the Spurs destroyed them in LA, and then we're previewing this game against Memphis. I had somebody tweet at me earlier today saying that I should take a victory lap.
Mm-hmm.
And the victory lap that they want me to take is the fact that I put a poll today asking a very basic question.
Mm-hmm.
If you could start only one of these players for the rest of the season, not both, just one, Stephon Castle or Jeremy Sochan,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think the poll results show right now?
You're probably leaning towards Castle.
And do you
Let's
think
see.
you say leaning? How much
Yeah.
do you think they're leaning? What percentage?
Majority, like 60, 70.
It's 87.
Wow.
So we have 82 votes that have come in the past hour and a half. Okay, I put this post out around 9:15. 87% saying they want Stephon Castle out there. 13% or so saying that they want to have Jeremy Sochan out there as a starter. And I had someone reach out to me and go, take your victory lap. It's interesting, Joe. It's interesting, Jeff, that the Spurs fans are starting to see things the way that I have been seeing them from the get-go. Jeff, do I deserve an apology? Was I right all along?
Not yet.
Ah.
Not yet. Not yet.
Does James Pledger have to take away calling me a moron on this
Oh,
podcast?
my
Did he really? Did he really say that?
He did.
He said
Oh,
it
he
on the
did?
podcast. He said I'm an effing idiot, effing moron, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh my God!
He told
Well,
Jimenez live on the show, "You moron."
that's hilarious.
Do the people who say I don't know ball have to say that I don't know ball? Did I take that back?
Oh,
But you know
On the
what?
yeah, but you know there is some truth to it. I mean, what we talked about on Locked On Spurs with Joe, with you on your show. You know, the numbers don't lie. And what was the strength? The starting five that got the Spurs off to a good start. It had Castle in it, and you fast forward even to today. You know, the time that he got on recently. Against what was the last game they played? Was that Milwaukee? The Lakers.
Yeah.
He got in relatively fast. He didn't start, but he got in quicker, and you saw that starting five just take off. Look what he did: 20-something points against the Lakers. The defense he played. So there's the numbers don't lie. There's truth to it. So we'll see if Mitch or Pop does come back, decides to go that route. But for me, it's just like I've been telling everybody: why fix something that wasn't broken? It was working, and you go mess it up. I mean, yeah. And I'm telling Devin Vassell and Sochan, you guys are still going to get paid same paycheck at the end of the week. So what does it matter?
yeah.
All right, Jeff. Let's talk about some accolades that the Spurs could get. I mean, tonight we're going to have a battle of two of the top players for Rookie of the Year. We have Zach Edey,
Yep.
Stephon Castle.
Been looking forward to this matchup for quite some time.
Some of the season awards when it comes to Rookie of the Year. Right now, Zach Edey is no longer the favorite according to FanDuel. Right now, they have Alexander Sarr as the favorite to win
Where did he come out
at
from?
1.5 to 1 odds. So let me see here. What am I missing here? Alexander Sarr stats. Let's see what he's doing for the year. Well, the last 5 games, he's had 2 points, 11, 10, and 13. He's averaging 11.7 points per game for the season, 6.6 rebounds, and 2 assists. So he's not standing out any more than what Castle is doing. Stephon Castle, averaging 14 points per game as a starter and 7 points per game as a backup. He's a different player when he starts, dude. It's beyond the more minutes. He tied a career high with 23 points. Castle at 11 points per game right now. But looking at it, just a month ago, we saw Stephon Castle as the favorite. Right now, he's 4th behind Zach Edey, Alexander Sarr, Jalen Wells, and then Castle at 7 to 1 odds. Found it interesting, though, when it comes to the MVP, 5th best odds belong to Victor Wembanyama.
Yep. Yeah,
So
I saw that too.
Not only will he be an all-star, but if this holds true, all-NBA first team?
Sure, I can see it. I mean, would you be surprised? I wouldn't.
I'd be surprised. Like pleasantly surprised. Not like shocked,
Yeah.
but like pleasantly surprised. When it comes to the defensive player of the year, Victor Wembanyama,
Yeah.
minus 430. Heavy favorite. The only thing that's going to stop him from not winning that award is what? Not playing enough games. Right?
Yeah.
Stay healthy. That award is his.
Yeah.
Most improved player of the year. Cade Cunningham is the favorite right now by far.
Yeah, Wemby's on that list too.
Well, let's see here. Yeah, Wemby's 7th on that list.
Yeah. Yep, he's on that list, yeah.
6th man
He
of the
ain't gonna get
year.
it though.
6th man of the year, Peyton Pritchard. By far the favorite. Coach of the year, Kenny Atkinson of the Cavaliers.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I have no idea what the Clutch Player of the Year award means. But
What it says is who's clutch.
that's Nikola Jokic right now.
Yeah.
So the Spurs taking on the Grizzlies tonight. You and I joked about this on Locked On Spurs. What are the expectations Spurs fans should have in the next 2 games? You know, should we be like, yeah, let's get both of these games? How do you see it?
I hope they get both of these games, you know, because you're coming off a 3-game losing skid, and you got to get some mojo going as the season is. We're approaching. Are we at the halfway? No, we're not at the halfway mark. We're getting real
close.
So, yeah. So I think you want some sort of momentum going. They're leaving to Paris in a few days. They won't be back in San Antonio for quite some time. So yeah, I hope they get these games. They could definitely use that. But yeah, Memphis is going to be a tough out. You and I went over some of the numbers for Locked On today, and defensively, I didn't realize Memphis was that strong.
Yeah, top 6.
Like,
I believe you
holy
said.
smokes! Yeah, there's top 6, top 4 in this category, defensive category, left and right. So yeah, the Spurs. I think it's going to come about defense, rebounding, controlling the boards, and collectively do it as we saw versus the Lakers. Wemby can't do it all, and at least against the Lakers. You had Castle and Devin chip in. You had Harrison Barnes chip. Everybody just chipped in. Even Wemby said it was a game where everybody shined.
That's right.
But one thing we brought up though, and like I said, Locked On Spurs gonna be dropping in about 40 minutes now. Is let's pump the brakes a bit because we've seen this before. We've seen Devin go off and then have a drought for a week. So we've seen this before. Wemby's gonna do Wemby, so you can ignore him. But will Castle do it again? Will Barnes play great as he did versus the Lakers? What if it was just the Lakers just being dumb and just not stepping up? So you enjoy the win, but you got to move on. You got to see how they respond because you go from one extreme to another, going from a mid-ish team, the Lakers, to a top team in Memphis. But I'm so looking forward to the Wemby matchup. I've been looking forward to this, and of course. Yeah, of course, I can't go because I got to start getting ready because I'm hosting San Antonio's Winter Comic-Con that starts this weekend. So I have to start prepping tonight. So I got to get my panel notes ready to go because it kicks off Friday. So I only got 2 more days to prepare.
So hey, interesting point real fast. Expectations changing. Spurs right now at 500. FanDuel revised their predictions as to the number of Spurs victories on the season. Before the season started, it was 35.
Okay.
Now they have the over-under at 39.5.
Ooh, that's a significant bump.
And not only that, the betting is at -140, which means more people are betting above the over on 39.5 than they are betting the under. So they're probably going to have to revise that to 40 at some point. But as of right now, FanDuel has it at 39.5.
Didn't we take the over when we were actually? I think you and I took the over.
We did.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
We saw Tony Analyst saying that Mitch Johnson and CP3 needs to do a major league type of thing from the movie Major League. Have a speech in the locker room that says it's time to win the whole effing thing. Chris Gonzalez saying that Memphis seems to average 130 points per game, or at least it feels that way. What do the Spurs need to do to slow them down? Who's the one defensive guy? No Sochan tonight. Who's the one defensive guy that needs to shine in order for the Spurs to hold that team down less than 120 points per game?
Everybody.
Name me a player.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to throw out there. I'm going to go with Wemby. Just have a great defensive because you're going to have Edie. You're going to have Triple J. You're going to have John Morant attacking the rim, getting work done in the paint. So Wemby's going to have to be a monster on defense. Not like you say he isn't every single day, but I need him to be Hulk level 2 defender.
I saw a funny meme earlier today, and it was talking about the Boston Celtics, comparing them to the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was saying, in order to have a championship team, you need to have an all NBA type of player like Jason Tatum. The Spurs have Victor Wembanyama. You need to have a clutch player like Jaylen Brown. The Spurs have that clutch player. His name is Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs need to have an elite defender like Drew Holiday. They have that in Victor Wembanyama. That's what I'm saying. The Spurs need to have someone who can play multiple positions and be versatile and play team ball like Derek White. The Spurs have that guy. His name is Victor Wembanyama. It was basically saying that Wemby is basically all 5 starters of the Celtics rolled into one player.
Yeah.
And you need to have a 3-point shooter like Peyton Pritchard. And we got him in Wemby.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop
again, that
John,
just shows
man?
you this roster is still needs to be looked at. And pieces moved here, pieces added there.
Just say it, Jeff. This team ain't it, man. The talent isn't here.
They're okay. They're just not good enough. They're okay. They're just not good enough. And But look, they can at least test Memphis today in the next game. I mean, I'd be happy with that. But this is going to be a tough out. Remember, Milwaukee just bullied them in Milwaukee, and then the Spurs got smoked. I can see the exact same thing happening tonight versus Memphis.
They get bullied.
Memphis just bullying them, and I think that's what the plan is against the Spurs tonight.
Yeah, they get bullied
Memphis, I'm bullying them.
They get bullied by the better teams in the West because they just don't have the talent level to keep up. It's like this, Jeff. What's the one thing that you always have in the hood? You can count on at 12:30, 1 a.m. in the morning. There's always some Honda. A Honda going down the street, right? Car has a nice paint job, nice rims. The big old muffler on it sounds like a lawnmower with the wing. But at the end of the day, it's still a four-banger, dude. It just doesn't have it's just not a souped-up engine. It can't keep up with the muscle car.
Well, I mean,
that's the Spurs.
Joe, you've been saying it. It's Wemby, Castle, and some
bunch
dudes.
Of dudes, man. That's all it is.
Now, I wouldn't say a bunch of dudes about Harrison Barnes. I like Harrison Barnes.
He's the Honda
or CP3.
The Toyota Corolla.
He's the Toyota Corolla. The Toyota Corolla. I would venture off to say that the Spurs have 5 good parts to this team. We've got Wemby, got Harrison Barnes. Barnes getting older though, man, so he's gonna have some fall off at some point. We have Castle. We have CP3, the last of CP3, right? And then that's basically about it. The rest are just dudes.
Yeah. What's CP3's name gonna be next year?
Be gone.
Could be retired.
Speaking of gone,
hey, what happened? What happened to Blake Wesley and Malachi?
Well, I went to the post office. And they had the photos up of them. It just says missing. They're on the back of milk cartons. They're not good, Joe. They're not good, Jeff.
Right.
They're just not. Malachi can't play defense. He's a streaky shooter. Do you know who he reminds me of? A less effective Lonnie Walker.
Ooh. Where's Lonnie?
I went there.
Where's Lonnie right now?
Lonnie's gone. And when it comes to the NBA, gone.
Gone. He's overseas.
And I was so high about Malachi Branham when he came out of Ohio State. That's the one that I got wrong. I thought he was going to be better than what he was. Blake Wesley, he's always hurt.
I think it's also in the position he's playing right now, man. He's just behind some depth right now.
Yeah. And you're not going to expect that from the number 24 pick in the draft, 25 pick in the draft. So he's gone. Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, don't even extend the offers for their team option when it comes to it, because they're at the end of their first contract. They have a team option for one more year because they're first round draft picks. The Spurs will pick up Sochan for $7 million, and that's going to be a good thing. People are already bringing up the fact that Quinn Ewers has declared for the NFL draft. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Thank you for the heads up, Pete Thamel.
Look at this Joe show, man. He's on something right now. He's Joe. You build around Victor like you would build around Michael Jordan. Tell me where the talent was around Jordan minus Scottie Pippen. They had shooters.
Yeah, the
Bulls had 3-point shooters.
They had Steve Kerr. They had Craig Hodges. They had B.J. Armstrong.
They had
Tony Paxton. Kukoc. Yeah. They had shooters around him. So it's funny because you look at like Michael Jordan and his heroics, kind of like Tom Brady and his heroics, right? Even Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan does not win 5 rings without Tony and Manu. Does he win 2? Probably, right? Jordan will win 2 or 3 rings on his own, but he ain't going to get 6 if it wasn't for Pippen, if it wasn't for Rodman, if it wasn't for Kukoc and all of these guys.
Yeah. Horace Grant.
Dude, so, some of the greatest plays that the Bulls had in their run in the 90s was these 3-point shots made by Kerr or something like that. Even the Lakers, the Spurs, both of them got rings because of Robert Horry.
Who did the Spurs have that used to play with Jordan on this team? The great Will Perdue. Right?
And Jack Haley.
What is it? Steve Kerr.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the legends. We were just missing Bill Winnington. We would have completed the Mount Rushmore.
Remember Will Perdue when he was wearing the mask? He kind of looked like a superhero, bro. A budget superhero.
So people reaching out to us on our YouTube stream, Jeff, and saying that tonight you got the answer wrong. That it's not the whole team that needs to show up defensively. That it's a rookie named Stephon Castle that needs to show up. And I don't want to use the phrase lockdown. John Morant.
You can't do that. Yeah.
Just slow him down a bit.
Just slow him down.
Area
That's
51.
why I picked Wemby, because we know Ja's going to get to the rim. That's what he does. And you have Triple J there, and you got Edie in the middle. So you got other slashers. Desmond Bain. I know he's a 3-point shooter, but his slash of the rim. So I just, I think Wemby's going to really have to hold down the fort tonight defensively. Not to say that Castle won't, but Wemby for sure.
They said that Memphis is favored by 2.5 points tonight.
Last check, it went up by 3, I think. Well, 2.5, 3, about the same. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I think at the end of the day, as you get closer to tip off, that's probably gonna go up quite a bit more.
Now, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, the Grizzlies, yes, are 25-15, one of the top teams in the West. But at the end of the day, guess what? They're just a 10-10 team on the road. They're a 10-10 team on the road. Spurs are a 12-8 team at home. So let's not make it sound as though the Grizzlies are unbeatable. Okay, Grizzlies right now have the number 3 team in the West. They're 8.5 games out of first. Kind of funny, Joe and Jeff. I was looking at this. The Rockets are the number 2 team in the West right now.
Mm-hmm.
OKC Thunder is so far ahead that OKC Thunder are closer to the 8 position than they are to the 1 position.
Yeah, the OKC's running away with it, man. And I'm surprised with the Cavs. I did not see the Cavs having this kind of season. I'm stunned.
I know.
And they're the best. I think they're the better team right now than Boston. But Boston's still getting the love.
Yeah,
because they're the defending champs.
Let's pump some brakes here on Memphis. Here, I'm looking at their last 3 weeks or so. Last 2 weeks, they've lost 5 out of 8 games. They lost to Oklahoma City on December 29th. They beat Phoenix on the road. They lost to Sacramento on the road. They lost to Golden State on the road. They beat Dallas at home, lost to the Rockets at home, beat Memphis, lost to the Rockets again. They've lost 5 out of 8.
Who's that?
Memphis. Memphis was 20.
Memphis beat Memphis?
Memphis is lost 5 out of 8. Memphis at one point was 22-10. They're 25-15. They've lost 5 out of 8. They're not unbeatable, though they did go toe-to-toe with the Rockets a couple of times.
Yeah, at the end of the day, though, what happens, what the Spurs always show you, man, they're one-dimensional. If you can go ahead and body Wemby, you take the head off the snake there, the rest of the team will fold, dude.
John Morant averaging 21.4 points per game, 7.3 assists, 4.3 rebounds. John Morant, very electric player. I wonder, as you throw Castle at Jock, because it ain't going to be CP3. You're not going to throw a 39-year-old CP3 to go after.
He can barely move out there, dude. Come on.
So you look at that. You know that they're going to put Castle on Morant. That's what they've got to do. Castle seems to be getting a little bit more, not equal, but a little bit more respect from the officials these days. Because we saw that in the Lakers game. We saw LeBron get upset about him. We saw Austin Reeves get upset. Castle seems to be getting a little bit more respect for his defensive prowess out there. Jeff, talk to me about Castle's defense. What do you like seeing when he's on the defensive end?
Oh, the tenaciousness, stuff that doesn't come out on the stat sheet. That willing to throw his body out there, body the guy, and if he gets burned, he gets burned. But I also like this: he doesn't really react too much if he does mess up a defensive assignment. He gets right back on it and does his best. So I like those intangibles in him playing defense, just scrappy. If y'all never seen him in person play defense, you really should, because he really gets up into people's spaces and really causes havoc for them. And one thing I like about him too, and doesn't get enough attention, is that when he does have the ball, he rarely turns the ball over. So he's very careful with that. His turnover percentage is quite low. Mm-hmm. So
I had the privilege of seeing him, Jeff. I was there. I was like a couple weeks ago. Me and the family were there. We're like maybe 4 or 5 rows from the court. We had the courtside seats, man. So Spurs look good in that game, but it's not consistent. That's the biggest gripe.
Let me ask you this question, Jeff. and this goes back to the poll question I had about, if you could start one, would you start Castle or would you start Sochan? The reason why you can't start both is because they both struggle offensively.
Yeah.
Right. Sochan is a terrible 3-point shooter at 27%. Castle's a terrible 3-point shooter at 25%. Right. So they're both bad at 3-point shooting. To me, Castle is more dynamic offensively because he's more about facilitating the ball. There's better movement when he's out there. Whereas Sochan just gets putbacks, right? He gets putbacks or he slashes to the basket and things like that. But when it comes to defense, Jeff, the best defender on this team is by far Victor Wembanyama.
Mhm.
But would it be wrong for me to say that the second best defender on this team is Stephon Castle?
Second at best.
I think he's a better defender than Sochan.
Gotta look at the numbers, but yeah, I wouldn't. It'd be close for me. I think I'm right there with you. I just gotta look at some stuff. But how about this question for you? Is Chris Paul the most important piece?
It's interesting because
Yeah.
the Spurs do well when Chris Paul does well.
Yeah.
And you could also say the Spurs do well when Devin Vassell do well. Like if Vassell,
But Chris Paul, something different there.
the problem with Chris Paul though is Chris Paul is old, and
I understand that,
but there's certain games he gets up, and he has a great game, turns back the clock, but doing that 82 games in a season,
yeah,
he can't light it up consistently. But when he's out there balling, and he's showing how great he has been for his entire career, he can do it. For the season, Chris Paul averaged 9.7 points per game, 8.5 assists, 4.3 rebounds, one of the biggest assists getters of the year, 36% from three. That is what I've been impressed by. Is he's a pretty decent, pretty good 3-point shooter, and he likes to fire it on the run. He likes to pull up and launch the three. I've been very, very pleased about that. He's having a good season. He's having a better season than I thought he was going to have, but better than anything else. I will say this, Joe and Jeff. Spurs are 19-19, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They're 19-19, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
38 games.
They're almost at the halfway mark.
How many games this guy has started? Chris Paul?
How many?
All 38. He hasn't missed a game this year.
He hurt himself. Remember, he hurt his thumb or something.
And he still played.
Taped it up, came back in.
Last year, he played just 58 games. The year before that, played just 59. The year before that, just 65.
So what are you saying? He's due for injury, Mike? You gonna curse him already on the show?
Dude, I'm knocking on wood, dude. That's
Jeff,
not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing.
Remember, Jeff, when Mike said that when they got CP3, they were going to punt?
They did punt.
I remember that. Yeah,
I stand by myself. It was a punt. It was a punt on going after a star player.
Nah, it's moving the goalpost.
Oh. Okay, y'all could quote James Pledge on that one.
You moron.
But again, you peel the layers of the onion back, and I was like, okay, well, he did help SGA become SGA because he played with him 1 year. And that's the one thing that we'll get from Castle. Castle is benefiting from the fact that CP3 is by his side. And now that Castle's benefiting from the fact that Sochan keeps getting hurt. Should we be concerned about Sochan's injury? Because it sounded like it was no big deal. And then they keep holding him out. What's going on with that?
Damaged goods, dude.
I don't know. I mean, if he's hurt, he's hurt. If he said there's back spasm, there's back spasm. What can we do?
I mean, he's missed 17 games this year after tonight's game. 17 of the 39.
It tends to happen when you.
Jeff thinks he's alcohol. He thinks he's an alcoholic. Let's not go there.
He's been spotted.
Joe says that.
He's been spotted at the clubs 2 hours before tip off.
There's no clubs open
true?
at 5.
He's been at the bars. I swear to God, man, I'm not even lying to you.
Hey, man, Michael Jordan would play 18 or 36 holes
That's Michael
and
Jordan,
get drunk off his ass.
Hey,
I know. I'm just playing.
he went ahead and crashed his Porsche, right? He went out of control.
Yeah, how come no one gave him crap about that?
He might have been doing a little bit of the day drinking,
dude. Because allegedly, we're not even going to go there. But I will say this though, no one in the media gave Sochan grief about crashing his car up against a pillar on I-10 and 1604 a few months ago. Because all I know is I've been driving my entire life. I've never hit a concrete barrier before. I've never driven a Ferrari. Well, actually, I have driven a Ferrari before, but that was like a Vegas. It was a
tall tale time, Joe. Tall tales.
There's no tall tale. I raced one at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Oh, now he raced one, Joe.
God,
Joe, now he raced one.
Okay, it wasn't a race. It was a time trial.
Oh, now he does time trials, Joe.
What are you gonna call
I'm
you?
serious.
You're the Dale Earnhardt now, the track or what?
Well, no, okay. So if you go to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Vegas, and I
Yeah.
did this for free, by the way. I was at a contest. Well,
And
okay.
he won, right?
Tall tale time. Tall tale time. Tall
I've
tale
never
time.
driven a Ferrari before, Jeff, but I was at the fastest
No,
lap around the track.
Okay.
He did time trials now. He did
Okay.
time trials in a Ferrari.
Okay. Tall tale time,
Come on,
which is
come
true.
on.
So about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 8, I went to Vegas to go watch the Rolling Stones in concert, right? And I was all excited, kind of a bucket list, Rolling Stones getting up in age.
Yeah.
And I show up. It's the day of the concert. It gets canceled.
Yeah. What? Mick Jagger was what in his prime? 78.
He was in his prime. He was still knocking up chicks. So they canceled the show because one of the band members apparently was sick. So they canceled the show, right? So everyone's walking around Mandalay Bay with that iconic logo, the lips and the tongue sticking out, right? And I'm upset that I flew all the way to Vegas for a show that didn't happen. My friend was there on business, and I went to his convention, and they had a contest. The contest was an excursion, right? Just go do something, but it was a surprise excursion. Well, my friend ended up winning the contest, and he goes, "Michael, go with me." So they take us to the desert, and we went to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and they had a row of cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and all that. And they said, just pick one and go out onto the track. Now, it wasn't the oval; it was more of a street track, right? So there's lots of turns and stuff like that. And they had a driver with us that was kind of coaching us along, making sure that we weren't going to crash the car, telling us how to do the paddles, the shifting of the gears.
Yeah.
And I did about 10 miles on the track.
It was a Ferrari.
Yeah, it was a Ferrari. It was a
And
yellow one.
the people in the chat are saying you fit inside the Ferrari, bro.
Oh, dude, this is when I was really heavy.
Hey,
dude.
Joe.
This is when I was my biggest, man. I don't even want to show the photos because I was like this. I was a beached whale on that thing.
Hey, Joe, isn't there a video out there on Jimenez's timeline of him trying to squeeze into a car?
They did.
No, I'm being serious.
You put a picture up one time. I think you were with Rudy J or something.
Yeah,
you were trying to get one of the race cars.
And like your belt,
I think it might have been
you couldn't fit through the window. You couldn't fit through the window.
Oh my god! Oh,
I remember that.
Okay, yeah. That was fitting into a NASCAR vehicle. It was over at it was in New Braunfels. It was a Jeff Burton Jr. Was the sponsor of some HVAC companies over there.
Showing.
Dude, yeah, that was 25, 30 pounds ago, Jeff. That was, I'm tubby now, but I was chunky then.
Look
man.
at Jeff. Sam Selena says they had to use the jaws of life to get Mike out of the car. You fit in, but you couldn't come out.
No lies detected, man. They had to butter. They had to butter me up. They had to grease me up and slide me in with manteca, man.
They had to break the front window.
Joe, Jimenez wants guys to grease him up and butter him up.
Pause.
Okay. You heard it here first, right?
Hey, he said it, not us.
All right, Jeff. What are you working on today on Locked On Spurs? What are you working on online?
Well, we just put up that article about the Wemby's jersey getting put up for auction. So fans are having a reaction to that. They're calling shenanigans. So that's up right now. Your show with me is up in about 15 minutes. So check that out. Jimenez and I talk about the Spurs being at 500, using the Lakers game as a launching pad, and of course looking at tonight's game. And then I think I have on deck for Locked On Spurs tomorrow, Vinny Vencetta, the Vin Dog. He's back. Yeah, he'll be joining me. We're going to be looking for the silver lining so far in the season. We're going to be doing that. And then, as y'all probably heard, I have the Winter Comic Con this weekend. It's called Comic-Con. So I got to get ready for that. So if you're in San Antonio, want to nerd it up with me, I'll be at the Henry B. Gonzalez Started on Friday through Sunday hosting the panels. And man, let me tell you, when I need to prepare. There's some deep dives in this con. There's one panel they sent me to go, okay, this is your Saturday panel. And then I was like, okay, I recognize this. And there's one I had to use a Google image search. I had no idea what it was. Come to find out it was a video game. So yeah, I got to do my homework. And then what else? By the way, a PSA to everybody. I wish so Jimenez knew this yesterday. I was gonna go for my my medical checkup. So I go, and everything's good to go. We're moving questions, the stethoscope and checking the ears, all that stuff, and blood pressure tests. So this time to do the blood test. Simple withdrawal blood. Was that like 2-3 seconds and you're done? So I'm in the room, and then the girl goes, "Hey, when was the last time you ate?" I said, "Oh, about like an hour and a half ago." And she put the pen down. She goes, "Hang on." She comes back. She goes, "Yeah, you can't do the blood test." I go, "Why not?" They go, "Because you have to fast overnight." I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that was. And I go, "Y'all didn't tell me this. Is this common knowledge that am I supposed to know
And
this?"
you can't drink anything and you can't eat anything after a certain point in time.
Yeah, when you do a blood test, you have to go at least 6 to 8 hours without food, without any sugar, without any caffeine.
It's like the cutoff time is like midnight or something like that. You can't have anything.
I had no idea. I just thought like not a big deal. So they just said, "Well, we'll just schedule it for next week." So PSA to everybody, in case you didn't know, apparently it's common knowledge because you guys know, you got to fast for at least, as Joe, you're saying, 6 to 8 hours. I had no idea, no clue.
So we have Jeff Garcia. If you're trying to meet Jeff next week at our karaoke event going on at the Hidden Tavern, Jeff's not going to make it. He's going to big time all of us when it comes to it all.
No, I'm not going to be able to make it.
He's big time.
I'll be out of town next weekend.
But even if he was in town, it's north of 410.
Oh yeah,
He wasn't gonna go.
It's outside the zone.
It's outside the zone. Yeah, there you go, Joe.
Castle Hills, too far.
Where's it at?
Too far. Where's it at? North Terminal? Nah, I can't go.
Yeah, he doesn't go north of the boot.
North of the boot. Yeah. No, I'll be out of town next weekend, but you guys have fun, and congratulations on reaching 2K, man.
Awesome.
Oh, y'all are way over 2K. Y'all are 2.2 thousand.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're already going to be at 2,100, and we just started a new ad campaign too. So, was telling Mike how that kind of works, and yeah, we're going to be surpassing probably 2,300 here before, I don't know, Monday or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm reading Mario Cavazos' message right now. It says, "Jeff, so what you're saying is you got a colonoscopy yesterday?" No, I did not. Did not. I think Jimenez was kind of thrown off by this. Okay, another PSA for the guys listening in. You don't have to have a colonoscopy for that check. In the blood check, you just tell them to run a PSA check, and it's the same thing. The only reason if they do have to do that is if that blood work comes back and they go, "Well, showtime. Yeah, something's wrong."
Yeah, it's already time for me to get that. I don't want to get that done.
Yeah, but like I said, Joe, you don't have to do the finger up the butt. You don't have.
No, I'm not saying that. They stick
there's
the camera
another
up
one.
there.
There's another one you can do. It's a blood test. It's the exact same thing.
So I went to go get a physical, and they were asking me about that test a while back. It was about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And they're asking me if I wanted to get it done. I was like, "Did I have to? I have to." And they said, "Well, not until 50." I was like, "All right, cool." But it was weird because it was like also like, I don't know. I want to change the topic on this one, but it was like male doctor, female doctor, you choose. I'm like, what is this, a massage? No. They said you can wait till 50.
Give me the female doctor in that case.
Give me the cute one.
Under
35. Under 35.
Yeah.
All right, that's Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Follow him on wherever you get your podcast at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter and Threads and at Kens5.com.
Yeah, Joe. Jimenez, your show's about to drop in 15 minutes, so get ready.
Very nice.
There we go.
Very nice. Everyone,
all right, guys.
Everyone retweet it.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Yep, later.
Hey, the big story in college football right now, or at least in Texas anyways, that Quinn Ewers has decided, Pete Thamel of ESPN, coming out and saying that Quinn Ewers is declaring for the NFL draft. He's leaving Texas 4th all-time in wins at 27 for a starting quarterback. When he arrived, the Longhorns were a 5-7 team. He led them to 2 college football playoff appearances. They lost in the semifinals to Ohio State. They were close, had a chance to tie, but thick 6. There was a fumble 6, whatever it was on the way back.
6. Oh,
that's when you have a big defensive lineman. Take it to the house. Ewers was, by many estimations out there, a first-round candidate early in the season before he got hurt. He was also a Heisman candidate before he got hurt. I would say that he's probably going to be a 3rd or 4th rounder, like Dak Prescott was
Probably, man. That's where he wants.
There were rumors out there that teams like Notre Dame and Georgia and North Carolina were after his services because he still has eligibility. And when you do that, just could take the NIL money, take the $5 or $6 million, but maybe that was all BS when it was all said and done. Super chat coming in from Jason Garcia. Jason says, "Ask for the small fingers, Mike." Yeah, I don't want that doctor with sausage hands. You know,
Hey, sausage fingers. You don't want to look at real sausage fingers, dude. Look no further than freaking Troy Aikman, dude.
Oh yeah,
Damn, bro.
That's brutal, man. That's
Can
brutal.
you imagine Troy Aikman, the Troy Aikman finger, bro?
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
We've been talking about the fires going off in California, Palisades, and all those areas over there. There's going to be a benefit concert. Remember Farm Aid, Live Aid,
I remember that
things
back
like that?
in the day. Yeah, yeah.
Everyone complains about these singers and celebrities, but guess what? They typically come together for things like Katrina and Harvey and things like that, right? Whenever there's
Yeah, but where does the money go? That's the thing that I always have a question with. People donating all this money, how much of that actually gets to the actual people?
I don't know, man. I don't know how they do it all. I mean, I remember back in the day, you had the USA for Africa.
You have
We
all
Are the
this
World and
Farm
all that
Aid
stuff.
and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, where did all that money go?
Well, let's see here. There's going to be a benefit concert in Los Angeles. They were deciding between the Intuit and the Forum
Yeah.
as to which location, but it's going to be at one of those two locations. Apparently, there's going to be 24 slots for the show, and more than 50 musical acts have come in and said that they want to take part. So now they have to whittle it down, like which 24 is it going to be?
These things are money grabs, dude, because somebody's going to want to stream it, right? They're going to buy the streaming rights because they're going to show the concert live
Right.
as it's happening.
Probably going to be on Netflix or something like that, right?
Dude.
But good news today was that one of the artists, if you want to show my screen,
Sure.
this is on TMZ.com. Rock legends, the Eagles,
Damn, they're still doing it.
even after Glenn Fry passed away, they have donated $2.5 million to the benefit concert already.
Damn.
They're saying that there's no proof that they're actually going to perform. They just wanted to be part of it by donating the $2.5 million. If you're going to have a thing like this, Joe, who would you want to see perform?
I don't know, man. Who, like a current artist or?
Because I think that it has to be a little bit of both, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of both, man.
According to the Mirror, this is a British outfit right here, saying that the speculation is that 3 bands have already confirmed, but there's no like confirmation that's been released. The Eagles, Harry Styles, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. So you got 2 70s bands and you got a 2000s pop star.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. Maybe you have to get somebody more recent. You know, you could get like The Weeknd or somebody to come
The
in.
Weeknd
Post
would be
Malone,
good.
You know, Dua Lipa.
Dude, I mean, spitballing here seems to be like they do a lot of charity events. Foo Fighters.
Oh man, but Dave Grohl, he's still coming off that debacle.
Yeah, but I mean, do people care that he's diddling others? I'm quoting Rudy J and Mike Taylor by using the word diddling.
Hey, you know what? It'd be a hell of a comeback for him, right? To come out and do this for charity. You know, kind of put his name in the good light again.
Hand over fist saying Shabuzi. Yeah, sing that whole Tipsy song and then get off the stage because no one knows anything else.
Dua Lipa,
my girl.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some love to our friends over at MCS General Contracting. They power the chat that we have on our YouTube stream. That Diamond Heart Concrete.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Yeah, that Diamond Heart Concrete, baby. They've been doing it for many, many years, and they do it right. I'm a customer myself. They put together a sidewalk for me, an extension to my concrete patio. Very happy with what they did. Again, reach out to MCS General Contracting, Chris Lehi at 210-774-9155. And reach out to me. Here's my cell phone number, 210-508-0369. I do financial advising. So anything from retirement planning to life insurance, disability, long-term care. You need help with auto and homeowners insurance. I got people who do that. Reach out to me, 210-508-0369.
You know who else we need to give love to? The great Jeff Garcia.
Let's do it.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
And I'm today's guest on Locked On Spurs. One thing I forgot to ask Jeff when he was on was to give a prediction.
Oh, yeah.
To give a prediction. I'm going to say the Spurs win one of the two games against Memphis. Back-to-back games. They're 25-15, but we did mention that Memphis is just a 10-10 team on the road. They've lost 5 out of 8 games. Spurs are going to take at least one of these games. They're going to figure it out. Stephon Castle needs to step up defensively. He needs to be that guy. No Jeremy Sochan today. People reaching out talking about those benefit concerts. Drew Show coming out and saying, are we all forgetting, that the people who lost their homes are millionaires? They're not all millionaires, dude. I mean, that's like saying that every house in Bernie is a multimillionaire house. Yes, there were a lot of $1 million homes were lost. You saw Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities out there who lost their homes. It's a long list.
Yeah,
but there's people there. Palisades is an affluent area, but they're not all multi-millionaires.
It's kind of like the Outer Banks. Have you ever been to the Outer Banks? They have the good neighborhoods, and they also have the neighborhoods that are kind of like Marbach nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice area, but it's beyond all that. So USA Today keeps updating their list of people who have lost their houses. Dude, did Pacey lose his house? Joshua Jackson, the actor?
A lot of people lost their houses, dude. The Pacific Palisades had a lot of high-level actresses.
Yeah. Business Insider says Paris Hilton, Anthony Hopkins, Mel Gibson, Billy Crystal. I mean, I know they're millionaires and all, but they're also people.
Yeah.
They lost artifacts, mementos. They lost their livelihood, and you can't replace everything with money. Do they have insurance? I'm sure they do. Are they going to recover? I'm sure they will. But it's just one of those things where it doesn't matter how much money you have. I don't care if you're have nothing or you have $1 billion. Your house goes up in flames. It changes your life.
Yeah, man, I'm digging this right here. Our good friends Fernandez, dude, because of what Wemby, that Wemby jersey that's up for sale now. He put the picture of Jordan, and he said, "Look at Wemby. Wemby's gonna be like, fuck them kids."
Dude, I don't. What kind of father does that? Wemby gives you a jersey, dude. If Wemby gave my daughter Ava a jersey,
yeah,
we ain't ever selling that thing.
Probably
we'll
not.
sell it 15, 20 years from now when she needs to put a down payment on a house.
There you go. That's good enough. I mean, for a down payment on the house, or get her halfway there. But the thing is, have you ever noticed what Wemby does? He's smart, right? Somebody along the lines, maybe one of his handlers, somebody from his team, told him at some point in time, every time somebody is there trying to give you a jersey, a card, a hat to sign, don't do it. Because they're going to wind up selling this on eBay or whatnot. And he's really smart in what he does, because the fans have noticed that Wemby never signs anything. He gives people jerseys, but he doesn't sign anything.
Yeah.
That's a good move on his part, because if you're going to sign something, it should either be for charity, it should be valuable for a cause or something of that nature.
That's why they're saying for the nerdies out there, Stan Lee, his stuff is not very valuable because he signed everything known to man.
Exactly.
He was a human autograph machine.
You know who else didn't sign a lot? Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Sam Selena is saying, if that's the case, Mike, why give a crap about these celebrities and so-called growing list of them? Because they're celebrities. It's because it's a recognizable name.
Yeah.
The only one that we should not give a crap about because they did things wrong was Mandy Moore. Mandy Moore, the actress, former pop star, because she created a GoFundMe for herself.
Yeah.
Okay, that one, middle finger to. Everybody else, I feel bad for.
Oh man. Why would you need a GoFundMe account if you have insurance already?
Right.
I mean, you don't got money that your bank didn't burn down. The money's online. You know, you swipe your card, it's still going to work. Why should you need the money, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I would do with that money? Like, if you're going to be a celebrity and you're like, you know what? I'd like to start a GoFundMe so I can help the people that have been displaced in my neighborhood, or help, people in the neighborhood, or people that have been displaced by fires or whatnot. I want to go ahead and get some clothes, shoes, socks, toiletries, water, what have you, and just have like a free for all for people to come in and grab what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you could say you're giving back to the community in a sense, right? Because you're helping others. It's not going to you, it's going back into the community. I would be down for something like that.
We have Drew Show reaching out saying that people in Palisades have high income, saying 375. The highest areas of Palisades, I'm on a website right now called Revel Real Estate about Pacific Palisades home purchasing. So the average annual income is 131,000 over there.
Yeah.
That the average household income is 180. You index that for San Antonio, you subtract about 25% of that. So that's like saying that the average household income there is about 150 in San Antonio dollars.
Yeah.
But there are other areas. It's kind of like saying, like, my neighborhood, Joe, is interesting. I have a house that I bought back in 7 years ago. I bought a house for 300,000, like 306. I could probably sell it for 450 now, right?
Yeah, inflation.
So I've got a $450,000 house. In my neighborhood, there are some houses there that you can get for 300,000, like flat, and there's some houses in my neighborhood that are 900,000. It's the same damn neighborhood, the same HOA, same everything. They go to the same pool, they use the same parks. It's just is what it is. Whenever you have these neighborhoods, they're not all the same. Now, does Palisades have a bad side of town? Not necessarily. I'm sure their bad side of town is still pretty nice.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel unempathetic simply because they have money. These are people who have businesses. These are people who employ people. When you see the videos of the devastation out there, two of my cousins fighting the fires out there. You see the devastation of all of that. You see mom and pop restaurants go down. Guess where they lived? They didn't live someplace else. That's where they lived. That was their home. I mean, it's so tragic what's going on.
We have this too to go ahead and share as we start bringing the show to a close here, because I have to start getting ready for work. Gridiron Sports is reporting, per Ian Rappaport, the rap sheet on the X, Cowboys have interest in and are expected to interview Robert Saleh for vacant head coach position.
Yeah,
so the ex-coach of the Jets.
Okay, so do we give Robert Saleh a pass because he was with an inept organization? Kind of like how Baker Mayfield was with the Cleveland Browns, Sam Darnold was with the Jets.
But the thing is, if he's going to go from one inept organization, he wants to join another in the Dallas Cowboys.
But he was forced to have certain players on that team. He wasn't able to do things his way.
I don't know, man. This one's hard, dude. I mean, why are they even interviewing this brother? Well, you're only good as your record says you are.
Well, first of all, the Cowboys are forced by the Rooney Rule to interview a minority. And if I'm not mistaken, he's a minority. Right? Is he a minority? Is that what he is?
I guess. Your guess is as good as mine.
He's Lebanese. He counts. They have to do it, right? But let's go through it. He was head coach of the Jets from 21 to 24. He was an offensive consultant last season with the Green Bay Packers. Prior to that, he was a defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers when they were pretty decent. He was a linebackers coach with the Jaguars, a defensive quality control coach with the Seahawks. He was a assistant linebackers coach with the Texans. And then he was other things with Michigan State as an offensive assistant. He's been around. He's a one-time champion. Head coaching record 20-36. It's the Jets.
I wouldn't want him here as a Cowboys head coach.
Dude, who was going to win as a head coach of the Jets? You put Bill Belichick with the Jets. They suck.
I didn't even nobody's going to win with the Jets. Let's be honest. You had a bum-ass Aaron Rodgers out there on his last leg.
He had 2 seasons with the Jets of 7-10. I kind of think that's all right.
It's all right.
His first season with the Jets 4-13. They improved to 7-10. They improved to 7-10.
Yeah.
Then they cut him when they were 2-3.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be pretty much done with the Cowboys.
Got 7 kids.
I think I'm gonna be pretty much done with the Cowboys. It's time to choose another team, Mike.
He's
I think
got
I'm
7.
done, dude. Fucking done. Tired of the losing, bro. And now they're gonna go and get another head coach. They got no weapons anymore. They got no quarterback no more. They got no O-line, no defensive line, no corners.
Tony says Jets organization sucks, Joe.
You know what?
Ex-coach has passed.
Are the Cowboys going to be the next Jets team?
They already are. The Jets haven't won anything in 50 years. Cowboys haven't won in basically 30. You know, we're coming up on that 30-year anniversary, Joe. We're about 13 months away from that anniversary.
It might be time to burn my Cowboys gear, dude. I'm tired of the losing, man.
Nah, but they're gonna sell you on hope, man.
No, bro. So does Superman.
The Robert Sala experience.
Superman. They do that with Superman. They try to give you a new trailer, Superman. It's the same fucking story. I'm tired of that shit, dude. I want to see a Superman movie that's different. I want to see the same rehash, the same story, the same damn villain, the same superhero. Hey, give me something different.
Micah Parsons was on his podcast saying that he was disappointed that the Cowboys got rid of Mike McCarthy.
Well, leave then.
Dude, they're going to franchise tag his ass. He can't just leave.
Leave. Gone.
He can't just leave.
Ask for a trade. Say, I'm not showing up.
He says, quote, I'm obviously very sad because of the relationship we had with Coach McCarthy and everything he's done for our program. 3 straight 12-5 seasons, playoff appearances, and obviously an unfortunate year due to injuries. It is devastating. Coach Mike is a great father, great coach, one of the most winningest coaches. He's been good to us as a unit, our coaches, our players. Losing a great coach like Mike really hurts.
You know what Micah Parsons should be mad at? The performance of these fucking Dallas Cowboys. Every goddamn year, Mike. I don't want to hear nothing anymore because you know what? They have a good coach and they still shit the bed every year.
Okay, there have been some years that the Cowboys shit the bed and they have no excuse.
They shit the bed every time they get to the playoffs.
They have no excuse. Like when they lost to Green Bay, 48-34, whatever that was.
They got their teeth kicked in.
That one is embarrassing and no excuse. Last season, Jerry Jones set that team up for failure.
He's been doing that for what, 20 years?
No, but this was this was Joe. Joe, it was almost as though he tried tanking this team, but the team wouldn't tank.
They're too good.
No, Mike McCarthy got 7 wins. He was trying to get Mike McCarthy to get just 3 wins, and he got 7 instead.
Oh, I'm tired of this fucking Cowboys franchise, dude. I had enough of this shit. What are you rooting for at this point? Well, we're all in. Vamos para la Super Bowl. You know how many?
Oh man, it's our year, baby. And Joe, you know what's gonna be so funny? It's gonna be so funny. Seeing the Eagles win, seeing the Commanders win, and seeing an NFC Championship game of the Eagles versus Commanders.
Seeing the X go on to
Commanders beat the Lions. You know, Eagles beat the Rams.
Yeah,
you got Eagles, Commanders, NFC Championship game, and Cowboy fans are gonna be sitting there like Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket, eating the donut, sucking their thumb.
I mean, shit, man, you're seeing your ex flourish with another team, another boo.
Tony says you're gonna be a Saints fan next to me. Hey, dude, I saw this article the other day talking about my Saints, saying that the Saints are full on tank mode for next year just so that they can go get Arch Manning.
You know what I should do just to
hey, tank for Arch is already a thing.
You know what? I should become a fucking Eagles fan. Fuck it, dude.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Come in here wearing my Eagles hat, a big ass eagle on it, with the little wings flapping and shit just to piss off Cowboy fans.
Tony says that Joe becomes a Rockets
No,
fan
fuck
next year.
Rockets.
You
Fuck
know what?
Houston,
And
dude.
fuck the Rockets. Everyone who says I'm a Rockets fan.
You are. You're Space City Jimenez.
Dude, my girlfriend tried like I told her about that and she goes, well, I mean, what's the big deal? You know, I'm like, no, what's the big deal? I am not a Rockets fan, never
when
will
I
be.
see her at the party, I'm gonna say, Francesca,
Yes.
make Mike wear a Rockets hat.
Yes.
Put a jersey on his ass.
Fuck that.
So
No.
she'll get you in one.
No, not even if we're role playing.
Yeah.
Won't do it.
Oh, bro. No.
You want my Hakeem the Dream? you want
Damn,
my you want my Kenny the Rocket Smith?
Jesus. And that's how I'm gonna call her when I see her over there. I'm gonna say, "Here, what's your name?" Her name's Francesca, but I call her Francisca.
Everyone's saying, Tony's saying that the next team you're gonna cheer for is whatever girl you date next and her team.
Nah, man.
You know, if you date a girl who's a Bears fan.
You know what? I don't want to date a girl that likes sports. I want somebody just normal, dude.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Maybe somebody that likes the same things I do, like the nerd kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does, bro.
Yeah, no, they're 14-year-old girls now.
Yeah,
No, that doesn't exist.
No, they're not, dude.
These cosplay chicks are all Instagram.
No, I don't want a cosplay chick, just a girl that likes the same things I do, likes to watch same shows, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they don't
Similar
exist.
interests.
They don't
do.
exist. They don't
I know
exist.
several of them.
Yeah, for every one, there's like 300 guys that want that.
No, I know several of them already.
Mhm. Everyone have a fantastic day. My prediction: Spurs win tonight. Stephon Castle reinserts himself into the Rookie of the Year candidacy. That's my prediction. Joe, your prediction for tonight?
Spurs go down in flames.
Spurs are gonna win tonight.
No, bro.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Every time you say they're gonna win, they always lose.
Oh, and I'm in San Antonio. Damn it.
You jinx the team, man.
We'll find out. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll be back. This is the Area 210 podcast. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to Jeff Garcia for being on. Again, I'm on Locked On Spurs today with Jeff Garcia. Go check it out on YouTube. Check it out on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow.